Human-centered change leadership is not just a buzzword or a fleeting trend. It is a fundamental shift in how organizations approach transformation. At its core, it recognizes that true, sustainable change does not happen in spreadsheets or on presentation slides. It happens in the minds and hearts of people. By prioritizing those affected by change, leaders can foster resilience, trust, and engagement, all while guiding their organizations toward evolving goals and brighter futures. Change is inevitable. In today's fast-paced world, technology evolves, markets shift, and organizations must adapt or risk falling behind. Yet, the journey from the present state to a new way of working is rarely smooth. Resistance, confusion, and fear often accompany the process. Traditional change management strategies have long focused on processes, structures, and systems, sometimes overlooking the most critical element, the people experiencing the change. Human-centered change leadership starts from a simple yet profound premise. People are not cogs in a machine. They bring unique talents, perspectives, and emotions to the workplace. When a change is announced, whether it's a new technology, a reorganization, or a shift in strategy, it ripples across teams, affecting morale, productivity, and even personal well-being. Leaders who recognize and honor this human dimension can shape transitions that are not only more effective, but also more compassionate. The foundation of human-centered change leadership is empathy. Empathy means more than just understanding how people feel. It's about actively listening, acknowledging concerns, and validating experiences. Leaders who practice empathy take time to engage with team members, ask open-ended questions, and create safe spaces for honest dialogue. This approach not only surfaces valuable insights about potential challenges, but also builds trust, a critical currency in times of uncertainty. Communication, too, takes on a new significance. Rather than relying on top-down announcements or one-size-fits-all messaging, human-centered leaders tailor their communication to different audiences. They are transparent about the reasons for change, articulate the vision behind it, and explain how individuals will be impacted. They don't shy away from difficult conversations or uncomfortable truths, understanding that clarity, even when it's hard to hear, is better than silence or confusion. Another key principle is inclusivity. People support what they help create. Human-centered change leaders involve employees at all levels in the change process. They seek input, invite feedback, and encourage collaboration. By bringing diverse voices to the table, leaders uncover potential blind spots, generate creative solutions, and foster a sense of ownership. When people feel that their ideas matter and their concerns are addressed, they are far more likely to embrace new ways of working. A human-centered approach also means recognizing and addressing the emotional journey that accompanies change. Change can trigger a wide range of emotions: excitement, anxiety, hope, frustration, and even grief for what is being left behind. Leaders who are attuned to these emotions can provide the support and reassurance people need. This might involve offering resources for stress management, providing opportunities for upskilling, or simply acknowledging the courage it takes to step into the unknown. Celebrating small wins along the way is another powerful tool. Change can feel overwhelming, especially when the end goal seems distant. By marking milestones and recognizing progress, leaders help maintain momentum and reinforce the belief that positive outcomes are achievable. These celebrations, whether formal or informal, also strengthen team cohesion and morale. Human-centered change leadership is not about avoiding tough decisions or prioritizing comfort over progress. Rather, it's about balancing organizational goals with the needs of individuals. Sometimes, change requires difficult trade-offs or restructuring. Even in these moments, a human-centered leader acts with integrity and respect, providing clear explanations, fair processes, and support for those affected. Consider the example of a company implementing a new digital platform. A traditional approach might focus on rolling out the technology quickly and training employees on its features. A human-centered leader, on the other hand, begins by understanding how employees currently work, what pain points they face, and what concerns they have about the new system. They involve employees in pilot testing, gather feedback, and adapt the rollout accordingly. They provide not just technical training, but also emotional support, acknowledging that change can be stressful. The result is greater adoption, fewer disruptions, and a workforce that feels valued and heard. Human-centered change leadership also extends beyond the boundaries of the organization. Customers, partners, and communities may all be affected by change. Leaders who apply a human-centered lens consider the wider ecosystem, seeking to minimize negative impacts and maximize shared value. This holistic perspective strengthens relationships and enhances the organization's reputation as a responsible, caring entity. To cultivate human-centered change leadership, organizations must invest in developing the skills and mindsets of their leaders. This includes training in emotional intelligence, communication, active listening, and conflict resolution. It also involves creating cultures where vulnerability is not seen as a weakness, but as a strength, a willingness to admit uncertainty, learn from mistakes, and grow together. Measurement and accountability are also important. Human-centered change leaders track not just the technical progress of change initiatives, but also the human experience. Surveys, focus groups, and one-on-one conversations provide valuable feedback on how people are coping, what support they need, and where adjustments are necessary. This data-driven, iterative approach ensures that change is not just implemented, but truly embedded. In the end, human-centered change leadership is a philosophy as much as it is a practice. It's about recognizing that organizations are living systems, shaped by the aspiration, fears, and creativity of their people. By putting humans at the heart of change, leaders unlock the full potential of their teams, build resilience for the challenges ahead, and create workplaces where everyone can thrive. The future of work will demand agility, innovation, and adaptability. But these qualities cannot be mandated. They must be nurtured. Human-centered change leadership offers a path forward, one that honors both the needs of the organization and the dignity of the individual. It is not the easiest path, but it is the most rewarding, for it leads to change that is not only successful, but also meaningful and lasting.